our Teen Sports listeners. I'm your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m. Hey. Welcome to Teen Sports Radio, where we serve up the tips, the tools, the total teen takeover vibes every single week. I'm your host, Erica, and today we're going to be soaking up the sun, the magic of summer solstice, the longest, brightest, most yes I can day of the year. That's right. Dominique, we got a big show today. What are we going to talk about?
Oh, my gosh. We're going to talk a little bit about being in the solstice season. Sky is going to go over stage 10 of the 12 stages of healing. And I'm going to share a little bit about optimism. And Don has a hygge. Don, what will your hygge be on?
It'll be about how we should repay our debts of gratitude to the soil in which we developed.
Ooh.
I like it.
Don, you're like on a roll. You're a Renaissance man, you know? That's awesome. That's so cool, keeping in the spirit of things. A lot of times we got Anthony Rodriguez here today. We've got Alex Ramirez, Christine Marie, our producer, Dr. D, Don Sanders. Am I missing somebody? Dominique, you. Okay, you're right next to me.
And Erica.
And, of course, Erica.
We have a full house.
We have a full house day. But you know what I want to do, which we haven't done in a minute or so, which we need to do, because this is a community show. So let's anybody out there. I'm gonna let Christine start off. Let's give a nod or some love to somebody local here in our community. A lot of people don't realize, you know, I have nothing against box stores. I personally don't go into them, but I'll be the driver. It's Dominique knows. I'll just wait outside. It's too overwhelming for me. But
the mom and pop shops.
Mom and pop shops. You know, reason why is, folks, 68 to 70 cents on every dollar you spend in a pop shop stays in your community.
Yes.
So that's the reason why I don't go to the big box stores. And I know, I mean, they got their pluses and minuses. Hey, I love that Costco chicken. Okay. I'm not going to say,
I'm not
going to say, you know, if I'm outside, you know, yeah, grab me that Costco chicken. Okay. But
okay,
I
but
really
have you read the ingredients?
I know. Bad. I know. I got you. Okay. I'm just saying.
I love you. Read the ingredients before you eat it next time.
I got you. I love my digestive system too. I need to start working on that. So at the end of the day, I'm just saying, you know, the difference is like 13, 14 cents stays in this community when you host those big box stores. It's kind of fun. Dominique and I have been doing, we're exploring now. It's kind of like, okay, since COVID, haven't really paid any attention to the city because we went down a different path. And now it's kind of, we're walking around a little and seeing things and hearing things. And I see opportunities now for us as a community to really bind together and help each other out and keep that money here in the house. Christine, I know you've got a place you want to talk about.
There is an amazing new business. I think they might have been in business for a while. Someone just turned me onto it. It's called Loca Vivant, and they make gluten-free artisan sourdough bread and rolls. They do. I think they're mostly gluten-free, but. And they're a bakery, and they do delicious desserts and all sorts of things like baked goods. And also they're starting a new concept where they're sourcing from everybody local, where they want to make a food preparation or, you know, and what do you need? Do you need it prepared so you cook it yourself? Do you need them to cook it for you? And they're wanting to connect with local organic farmers, and then also they want to take any waste. They want to connect with, I think they should connect with the food bank, you know, and Unity Shop for anything else that, you know, they want to do zero waste. They also want to make it available so for people who can afford it and people who can't afford it, so everybody pays what they can. They're trying this whole new concept, and I think it's so exciting. I have not tried their bread yet, but I am on my way. I'm going to order. You have to order by Wednesday, and then you have to go pick it up on a Friday. So a friend of mine just raves about it, and I'm so excited.
Tell us the name.
Loca Vivant, LOCA VIVANT. And I'm super excited. I just look up their website, and they are closed the first 2 weeks of July. So sorry, don't try then. But between now and then, I think it's the 24th of June today. So see what you can do. It's a Tuesday too, so you still have time to order something and try it out. It's not cheap. It's not cheap, but it's they want to pay
real
a living
food
wage.
is not inexpensive, okay?
Right.
But real food is,
they want it to be a living wage.
Exactly.
Right.
And one slice of bread fills you up. Go ahead, Doc.
Yeah.
No, we haven't. We really don't pay the price that we should for having good food in our mouths. We're very lucky that we get it at an affordable price.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I want to give a shout out. I was given a gift certificate to Euphoria Massage. They have a float. If you've never done it before, it's where you get to sort of experience zero gravity and just float in the water. They have some very interesting things at their wellness center. And I'm very, very grateful that my cousin left me a gift certificate. And it's all about self-care. And so and Dawn, for people who are up in Ojai, Dawn is a masseuse. Self-care is so important.
Dawn, I'm making a schedule with you because Dominique this was a gift certificate she got. And then I'm like, something, I'm not taking care of moi. Okay? I'm not eating that Costco chicken anymore, and I gotta be hooking up with Dawn, okay, more regularly. It's ridiculous. Alex, do you have a spot?
I just got back from Dr. Bailey's office, my orthopedist, and I got to give him a shout out because their surgery that they performed on my Achilles was a newer type of procedure. And yeah, I'm just so grateful. It's 18 weeks. I just got back from Maui. My Achilles did great on the trip. And I'm so grateful that I was able to do the things that I wanted to do, like simply going to the beach and playing in the pool with the kids. It's just Dr. Bailey and then the guys at SB Physio, my physical therapist, who put me back to work and back into rehab to get walking again. I'm grateful. Those places are a little bigger. SB Physio's, small little kind of corporate, but they're a unity of one, and they have a lot of great physical therapists there. That place is awesome. I'm just grateful. It's crazy. Ever since my injury, I'm really grateful for everything that I can do, not just walking, but being able to put this garden shed together yesterday and being able to go on vacation and travel. I'm just grateful for everything. Waking up and getting coffee, walking to the garage. I'm just grateful for all the little stuff. So
that's awesome.
SB Physio, and then Ryu Horvitz, orthopedic, Dr. Bailey. He's the man. He knows what's up. I'm so happy, so grateful.
Thank you. Awesome. Don?
Speaking of coffee, I want to give a shout out to Handlebar Coffee main store there in Santa Barbara, where my daughter does happen to work on the espresso machine. And she calls that a level 4 coffee shop or something. Like here in Ohio, I love my local coffee guy, but that's just like the basics of eats plus, good coffee. But she says that there's levels in coffee shops. I didn't know this. And they're like a level 4. Great pastries, great coffee.
Is she on the one on De La Vina?
Yeah, the one near the Libero Theater in the public library, right?
Oh no, that's a little more downtown. Okay,
off of Bath, is it?
Yeah, that's a little more downtown. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Don, I have to ask you because I've been ordering coffee from Ojai at Bonito Coffee. Have you tried that? They're amazing.
I love their coffee. They come to Thursday Farmers Market, and I get this thing called a cortado there from them.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah.
Christine has always got the ins on all that kind of stuff. Anthony, you want to give some love to somebody?
Yeah, actually, I want to give a big shout out to my wife for putting up with me for 25 years.
Oh. Is this your anniversary or birthday?
No, this is somebody's probably listening in the background with snarling.
Yeah, no, July 1st is our wedding anniversary, but it's, I'm difficult. I'm like a little kid, and it's, I'm very difficult. I'm hard-headed sometimes, but if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be where I'm at now. And I'm truly grateful for her not judging me and just loving me for who I am, no matter how much I drive her crazy. And yeah, I'm just grateful for that, and I'm just grateful for my aunts and my mom that I still have, and yeah, I'm just totally grateful. So
Sweet. So
beautiful.
Awesome.
Let me round it out here because I do want to give a shout here to Whitney Chic Boutique. They're going to be opening Thursday, July 10th from 3 to 8. They're going to have this grand opening, and you're going to get to enjoy refreshments, nibbles. They're going to have a personal colorist there, consultation. Music is going to be rocking. Yeah, so check it out. I think Barbara Dew is going to be there. Alex, can you and your lovely life? We have to have some Teen Sports Radio love. Got to be checking it out.
Yeah, I'll go check it out for sure. It's right by my house. It's right off of
that's what I'm talking about.
Right by CVS. It's the Giovanni's and stuff over there, I think.
Yeah, we used to have all these. Yeah, Petrini's.
Yeah.
We used to have all these.
Petrini's, that's right.
Yeah, there's also a great dance studio, Leslie Sachs Dance Studio. Amazing local dance teacher. Sorry, another gratitude.
Sweet. All right. That's it for right now. We've got a lot of show. We'll be back with more after these messages.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
Welcome back. This is Christine Marie with a view from the deck. And first, let's look at what's going on in the cycle of the Earth. Right? It's solstice, or it was just solstice. June 20th is solstice, the first day of summer. I believe it this year, and I don't know if it's every year, but it's when the sun moved into Cancer.
Yes.
So we're in Cancer, which is the sweet water sign, the crab. Very sensitive souls, those Cancers. And the solstice. The solstice is, I feel like it's this big out breath for the Earth. That's how I think of it. The winter solstice is the in breath. That's when we come in and we're quiet and it's cold, at least in the northern hemisphere, right? In Australia and New Zealand right now and South Africa, it's actually the winter solstice. So on either side of the planet. But for us in North America, and also here in Santa Barbara, we have a big solstice festival, and it is so much fun. So this last weekend we had parades and concerts and lots of people coming into town and dressing up and glitter and sparkles and fun and dance. And it's really this out breath. I mean, we have to have the in breath and the out breath in our lives, right? And so this is the first solstice. This is our time to really get out there. That's why the sun on the northern hemisphere is out. It's the longest day of the year. And so, it's time to just get out there and move and connect and be with people. And on the solstice itself, there was, I believe the moon was in a wonderful conversation with Jupiter. They call that what do they call it?
Conjunct? Were they conjunct?
Not conjunct, another one. Anyway, so a good conversation. I forget. Sometimes there's bad conversations and good conversations.
Yes.
Sextile. Yes, a sextile. And now today, Tuesday, June 24th, actually I believe the sun is conjunct with Jupiter, which is a really great day. It's super positive. It's a lucky day. So everyone should feel good today on Tuesday. If you're not, know that one of the things I like to, as I'm in the Santa Barbara Rebels, and we talk about, there's this Irish quote that we have that says, everything always works out. If it's not worked out, it's not the end yet. So everything always works out in the end. If it hasn't worked out, it's not the end yet. So hang in there, everybody, right? No matter what's going on, it helps me really, hang in there when things, aren't going so well. So I would just say for
this solstice season is a wonderful time for teens. If they've never explored astrology, pick up a book. Summertime is a great time to begin studying and understanding astrology.
Yeah. And also understanding like the cycles of the year. For me, it's also about the cycles of the year because the solstices are the longest and shortest days of the year. The equinoxes are when everything balances. So spring equinox, which is March 21st around, and the fall equinox, again, we're talking Northern Hemisphere. The fall equinox is, September 21st. So there's these balancing the year, just like the day, just like there's midnight or there's the darkest part of the day. And then there's noon where everything is super bright and it's the brightest part of the day. The year has that same cycle. It's so interesting. To me, it's very interesting, the cycles within the cycles. And And just as we go inside at night and sleep and kind of go internal, and then in the middle of the day is more of an external. We're out, we're moving around, we're having lunch, that kind of thing. It's the same way with the cycles of the year.
So beautiful,
awesome.
Yeah. I didn't know if anybody wanted me to do a card for them today. Does anybody want a card, or should we do a card just for the solstice? I don't know.
You know something? Richard needs a card.
My birthday is in 2 days, the 26th.
Oh, Richard, let's do a little pull for you. Okay, so tell me when to stop shuffling.
Okay, stop.
Okay, do you want the top, the bottom, or the middle?
Middle.
Middle. Do you want the top of the bottom or the bottom of the top?
Bottom of the top.
Bottom of the top. This is. Oh, wait. What's the bottom? Oh, bottom of the top. Sorry, I took the top of the bottom. But the bottom of the top is the Three of Pentacles, which is about integrating your creative life with your work life. Mm-hmm. And it's a really, which I think that you already do, right? You do that. So do you want to, I'm going to pick up the bottom and the top just for fun. The bottom is the butterfly, which is the Fool, the leap of faith. So that means you recently took a leap of faith, and that leap of faith is popping you right into a new I would say a new integration of your creative life and your work life. And then from the top, I'm just going to take the top, and that's going to mean how you're moving into the future from the whole deck. And that is the Queen of Cups, which is about self-compassion, which is about divine compassion. She's the Mother Mary, Kuan Yin, Venus kind of holding her own half shell. And so there's this sense of you really being compassionate with yourself and having some sweetness. And it's almost like an angel if you see the mixture of these three things, right? It's almost like she's got angel wings and she's looking at herself. So as you look at yourself, really have deep compassion and see how hard you've worked and all the things that you do, and really align with that. And that deep compassion gives you the opportunity to give from a full well, not an empty well.
Sweet. Oh, that was loaded. All right, we got Sky in the waiting room. He's up to stage 10 right now. It's a part of the spiritual journey. We'll be back with more with Sky after these messages.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
Welcome back to Teen Sports Radio, everyone. This is Sky Ellsworth, and I'm a student at Life Chiropractic College West. And we are coming to you today with more of the 12 stages of healing. And we are almost there. We are in the season of Awaken, and we are dealing with stage 10 today. Stage 10 is huge and plays a really big role in our culture, which makes it really fun to talk about. But before we get into that, I just want to remind everyone, please, please, please go back and listen to previous recordings of Teen Sports Radio. I know you can find them on SoundCloud. That's usually where I go to listen to older recordings. And listen to all the stages, starting all the way back at the beginning, stage 1, and start to work with these. Start to understand and experience what the energies of these stages are in your life so you can recognize them. Connecting with the energies of all of the stages of healing is not about trying to change things. It's not about trying to get to the next stage. It's about honoring and connecting with the energy that you're currently experiencing so that your body can work with that more efficiently. And you experience magical changes. So moving into stage 10, we're now in the season of Awaken. We started off in the season of Discover, which was all about really connecting in with these parts of ourselves. Then we moved into the season of Transform, where we built a little bit more energy. And then we got to later on in Transform, where we had really built a lot of energy to use to really start to change these old patterns that were in our nervous system that weren't necessarily working for us, to bring more energy so that our body could use that for growth. Now, in the season of Awaken, we're starting to have even more energy than we did in the season of Transform, where now the soul can start to come in. Now we have so much energy that it's not just about us and the healing work that we need to do for ourselves, but there's so much energy that we can actually start giving that energy to others. We talked about in the last couple of stages, in the early part of Awaken, we talked about really feeling what it's like to be connected to other people as a whole. We started to talk about, especially in the last stage, the light behind the form, that feeling of love, that feeling of gratitude, and just that connection to others. Before that, we had that emptiness in connection, where it's like, okay, we're connected to others, but who am I, right? And then we started to bring in that light and start to realize, okay, now I'm starting to see parts of who I really am. Now that we're in stage 10, this is the stage of ascension. This is the stage that is embodied by people in our world and in our communities that are spiritual experts, right? These are your gurus, your popes, your rabbis, the people that profess to be really connected with that higher power, that soul intelligence. And I'm sure all of us have had some sort of spiritual or religious experience at some point. And this is a state where if you maintain it, it's considered enlightenment, which is really kind of fascinating. But then you also have, this is just stage 10 out of 12. So did you know that there's more beyond enlightenment? That's kind of cool. So we'll talk about that next week and the week after. But what's really fascinating about stage 10 is that when you start to connect in with that spiritual aspect, you start to recognize how it fits into your own identity. So you start to connect all of those higher resources, all of that soul intelligence, that enlightenment. You start to connect that with who you are, where you and that spiritual whatever are no longer disconnected. You're one. How can you channel and embody what that energy really is? And that's what this stage is all about. But again, as I've said in the other stages, it's really important to have a foundation. And that's going through these other stages. People will escape to this stage. They will turn to religion and whatever to avoid the discomfort of connecting with other emotions, with emotions that they view as not necessarily being positive. But the way through it is to connect with those emotions. Just because we don't feel so great in a moment or we're not so happy doesn't mean that we turn to something spiritual as a means of avoiding. So it's really, really important, again, to connect with that season of discover, that season of transformation to really build up to this. So let's talk about the exercise for connecting to this. So real quick, when you would use this exercise is in your life, when you start to have a spiritual experience and you start to make this a part of your identity and you realize that you're a spiritual being. And you will have moments where you truly just feel that spontaneously. And you can really hone in and connect to that energy within yourself by performing this somatorespiratory integration exercise to connect you with stage 10. So this is a little bit tricky. You do this lying on your back. I'm going to do my best to describe it, but I'm not going to lie on my back so you can hear me clearly. What you're going to do is you're going to take your hands and you're going to put them palm to palm, just like you're praying. You're going to hold them in front of your heart, and then you're going to bring them up to your mouth. And remember, you're lying on your back while you're doing this. So when your hands are up at your mouth, I just want you to connect with your own voice. You don't have to say anything. There's no words with this. But just connect with that feeling of speaking your truth, of this is who I am. And then you're going to move your hands up to your third eye and make contact with it. So right in the center of your forehead. And start to have that sensation of that part of you that is all-knowing, that is all-seeing, that part of you that is connected to divine intuition. Then you're going to move your hands up even higher. So straight up over your head, reaching, till you really feel that connection with the divine, where you really feel that connection with whatever spiritual beliefs that you have, and feel that energy. Now we're going to start to build it and connect it in with our identity. Our identity is represented by our pelvis. So what you're going to do, it's going to look a little bit dramatic, but you're going to take your hands and you're going to sweep them down in front of you, almost like you're karate chopping. So straight arms, and then you're going to make contact with your pelvis. So it's the top of your pubic bone. You can look at it as kind of connecting to your perineum, and you're not going to hit yourself, but you want to make gentle contact. But you're coming down overhead pretty forcefully and pretty quickly, and then making gentle contact with the top of your pubic bone, so about 3-4 inches below your belly button. And as you do that, as you swing your arms down, you're going to lift your pelvis up to meet your hands. And then you're going to drop your pelvis back down to the table as you lift your hands back up overhead. And then you're going to swing down with that karate chop again as you're lifting your pelvis to meet your hands. And you're going to breathe in through the mouth and out through the mouth. And you're going to gradually pick up speed. So it'll sound like this. Ha, 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 ha. And it'll be very, very rhythmic. And there may be times where you want to slow it down, and there may be times where you want to speed it up. But what you're doing is you want to focus on the sense of bringing that energy of the spiritual, of the divine, down into your pelvis, down into your sense of self, and really building what that energy is with that fire breath through the mouth, in through the mouth and out through the mouth. And this will connect you in with the idea and the feeling of ascension.
Wow, that's powerful.
Yeah.
I really love what you said about how sometimes people shortcut the stages, because I know a lot of people will rush to a more religious or philosophical point of view rather than spending time with the energy in their body. I really appreciate that.
Yeah. And this is, that concept is really especially important for teens. And reason being is that teens have such an ability to connect with the divine, but we get so caught up in school that we start to become disconnected from our pelvis. We start to become disconnected from our sense of identity and self because we're spending all of this time in our heads.
Yes.
Right? But we actually have the ability to take all of that beautiful energy and beautiful stuff that's going on in your head and turn that into something that can energize and lift us up even higher. We can use that to create a solid foundation by honoring and recognizing exactly where we are and what we're experiencing without the hunger to try and change it, and cultivate that energy and that connection to whatever your beliefs are. They don't have to be, it could be in God, it could be in universal force, nature, whatever it is, whatever feeling you resonate with. And that's the connection that you want to bring in and start to feel, how does that energy fit into me? And how do I fit into that energy? We're all connected.
I love it. Oh my gosh. I appreciate this so much, Sky. This is fabulous. Thank you so much. So this was stage 10. And a reminder to everyone to please go back and listen to our previous episodes. And we have them labeled so that you can find the other stages and really enjoy them each stage at a time. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
And more coming up.
Yes.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
Hello, hello. This is Dominique here with Santa Barbara Wellness Center, talking to our teens today about something really fun and uplifting. Optimism as your secret superpower. So grab your kale chips, put on those slightly too big headphones, and let's talk about something that costs $0, uses zero bandwidth, and yet literally levels up our entire lives. Yes, optimism. That thing that your grandma had when she said that your third grade macaroni necklace was high fashion. She wasn't lying. She was leading with love and rocking optimism like vintage Chanel. So hold up. Let's make something clear. Optimism is not toxic positivity. That's something different. It's not everything is perfect. Yay, yay. But it's rather, even when it's messy, I'm going to figure it out and probably learn something and maybe even laugh about it later. So, fun fact. Did you know that optimism has been scientifically linked to lower levels of inflammation in the body, which means when you get a sports injury, you're going to heal faster, okay? So that's not woo-woo, it's biohacking. Let's break it down. Optimism equals mental muscle. So the more you flex it, the stronger your brain and your game gets. It's like brain squats. So have you heard this quote? A pessimist sees the difficulty in every opportunity. An optimist sees an opportunity in every difficulty. Guess who said that? Winston Churchill. So science backs this up like varsity. Optimism helps athletes heal faster from injuries. They are more likely to reach peak performance, and athletes tend to stick to their sport longer when they are optimistic. It's called resilience, really. How about in school? Optimistic students get higher grades, they bounce back after failures, they stay motivated, and they don't spiral into the existential dread just because of one C-. It's a flex, it's a vibe, it's hope in action. Here's another quote. Keep your face always turned towards the sunshine. Then the shadows will fall behind you. Now that's Walt Whitman. So now it's time to, drum roll please, for your optimism creed. This is a teen edition, okay? Put your hand over your heart or on your water flask or your chest or maybe where you lost your iPads, right? Okay, optimism creed. I will train my brain like I train my biceps with reps of hope. I will look at failure like it's a plot twist in my Netflix original. I will believe in my teammates even when they trip over nothing. I will smile at strangers because good vibes are contagious and free. And I will not let a bad hair day define my week. And last but not least, I will remind myself that even if today is trash, I have tomorrow to take it out. So let's talk about how to spread this like the wellness influencer spreads almond butter. 3 ways to share optimism without even hardly trying. Catch someone doing it right. So, that was a majestic arch, just 5 feet short. But your form, is awesome. How about defaulting to hope? To your friends, if your friend says, hey, I bombed that presentation, you can say, hey, well, you didn't faint. That's progress. Public speaking is like dodgeball. Just dodge the panic. You can also use sarcasm in a good way. Instead of saying, nice job, Einstein, you could say, look at you, future Nobel laureate, decoding your lunch menu like a pro. So another fun fact, in Harvard, they studied for 30 years what was happening to their students, and they found that the optimistic students had a 70% lower risk of heart disease. They realized their optimistic students are living longer. So not just feeling good, but living longer. Yeah. Okay. So I'm fundamentally an optimist. Whether that comes from nature or nurture, I cannot say. That was Nelson Mandela. So here's an athletic, bounce back, real life comebacks that you can use to help kick in the optimism. So you're playing soccer and something happens and your teammate scores a goal, but they scored it in the wrong in the wrong net, right? So you bounce back and say, hey, at least you scored, you're trying, right? You just stay on the positive. How about a baseball comeback? So you do a free throw and you miss. You can say, well, I'm not the shooter today, but I am the vibe manager. I rebound joy. Or how about in gym class? You need a hero moment, right? So if someone's having a hard time, and trips and falls or something, you could say, hey, wow, that is a demonstration of how not to land. I mean, keep it funny, bring in humor. So Helen Keller once said, optimism is the faith that leads to achievement. Nothing can be done without hope and confidence. So optimism doesn't mean that you don't cry. It means that you cry and then you wipe your face, you fix your crown, and you say, let's go again. So here's your mission. You want to activate optimism. You want to be light, be funny, be the person who says, yeah, you messed up, but that's not your final form. And tripped over your own shoes? Hey, I could call it spontaneous stretching. So some wise gym teacher said, the only thing more contagious than a virus is a good attitude. A good attitude. So start with a gratitude game. Every night, name 3 things that don't totally suck. That's optimism. Today, cloudy, but tomorrow's got room for sun. So remember, optimism is your superpower. This is Dominique with Santa Barbara Wellness Center saying, you got this.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
For Teen Sports Radio, I'm Don Sanders. DonsMassageOhio.com, 805-236-2684. Here to bring you a hygge, a Scandinavian term for a comfy, cozy feeling, kind of like receiving a hug, but not necessarily receiving that physical hug. And I wanted to cover something today about, these are thoughts actually of my late mentor, Buddhist teacher, Daisaku Ikeda. Your true humanity will never blossom if you seek only to develop yourself. And we talked about it briefly a little bit ago. We should repay our debts of gratitude to the soil in which we develop. The cycle of repaying gratitude will envelop our whole existence. And so just a couple examples. Grass and trees cannot grow without soil. The soil that fosters our growth includes our parents, our teachers, our seniors, homeland, alma mater, community, company. In any case, everyone has some place where they grew up or someone who nurtured them, even if you don't think they did a great job. Probably, if you're still here, it happened. Human beings grow as a result of nurturing soil in which they express their ability and make the flowers of their lives blossom, just as the spirit of the rice plant returns to the soil and stalk sprouts to flower and bear grain once again. So, just like the pretty flowers that you probably enjoy in your walks. So we should always be reinvesting in the soil that helped us grow and develop. Thoughts, folks?
Yeah,
go ahead, Alex. No, you go, Alex.
I was just gonna say, it's the recent Father's Day, just passing by, and my Achilles getting better. Like, I've been able to garden again, and it's such a wonderful stress relief. I just get lost, and it's so worth it. Like, I did a lot of work, like right before I got, it's so weird. Right before I got hurt, I did a bunch of work in the garden. And now, because of spring and summer, everything is flourishing. Everything is green. And that's kind of like what you do is you have to put in the work now to see the results later. And all these roses just started blooming right as Father's Day passed. And I feel like that's my dad saying hello, even from beyond the grave, because he's been gone 10 years. So I don't know. It's my way of reconnecting with Earth and my dad. It's really cool. I really appreciate that time.
Anthony, what I want you to do real quick is give some teens here. Summer's here. Talk about grounding yourself and staying grounded. A lot of things can manifest themselves for these kids. These are the COVID kids. I don't think they're as sharp as, I'm going to get so shot down. But it seems to me they're not as connected, not as street smart, because they were shut down for 2 years. Help me out here.
Yeah, no, definitely it's a different feeling. Them being isolated during COVID has made a big difference in the way that they react to certain things. They're very, many of them are very naive. It's not their fault, but it's something that does need to be addressed, and hopefully that they can pick some stuff up. If you are one of those COVID kids that didn't have that opportunity to communicate with others, I challenge you to try. Try to get out of your comfort zone. And a lot of teens right now, their comfort zone is being home, or being on the computer or playing video games, and, I definitely want to challenge some of these kids, or you kids that are out there, to try to do something different, try to do something new, try to go outside and try to talk to somebody.
And gratitude is the bridge to do it with.
Right. Exactly. And I think that's something that they do need to take advantage of.
I love that, Anthony. I just want to say, too, there's such a gift in being willing to be in the awkwardness.
Yes.
Yep.
It really will shift, but you have to allow yourself to sit in that discomfort a little bit, that awkwardness, and it will change, because everybody's feeling awkward, and then you can laugh about it, or something will happen, and there's a connection that can come from that.
Right.
Gotta put that phone down, though. Put that phone down. I mean, gosh, these kids nowadays, they won't even look at you. I try to say hello to a kid who's walking by and he's just stuck on his phone. Like, even just saying hello will help get over that social anxiety. Just get out there, look up, say hi to someone.
Right.
All right, you guys, listen, we were saying that is a wrap. Remember, your body is your temple, your mind is your superpower, and your heart, well, that's your compass. God bless Santa Barbara. See you next week.